Hey everybody, welcome back to C.Dat.Guy Review Movies. My name's Christian and today I'll be going over Sonic the Hedgehog. Movies have either had original ideas or stories adapted from existing materials, and some of that includes books, plays, TV shows, musicals, anime, comic books, history, other movies, and even board games. Perhaps The Last Frontier is probably like musical lyrics or something like that. All mediums have had its share of both good and bad movie adaptations, but when it comes to video game movies, it just seems like Hollywood has had a hard time cracking the code. They've been trying to do video game movies since the 90s, and the track record shows that they're not doing well either critically or financially or even both. But, of course, there's exceptions. Mortal Kombat was the first one that really exploded into the scene, and I think a lot of people today, even me, still think that's the best one ever, and honestly, how can you argue with the iconic music? Both the Tomb Raider and the Resident Evil franchises have had mixed reviews amongst their movies, but they always seem to have decent runs at the box office. Warcraft and Rampage were huge box office surprises, and I personally thought that the video game curse was broken with last year's Detective Pikachu since it did so well critically and financially. And actually, I don't know if you noticed, but if you look it up, the Angry Birds movie 2 actually did better critically than Detective Pikachu, so that was short-lived. Anyway, I think Hollywood is just cracking the surface, and they still have a long way to go, but I think they're continuing in this upward momentum. So, does Sonic the Hedgehog continue the trend? Let's find out. Just in case you don't know anything about Sonic, as a 90s kid, I feel like it's my duty to break it down for you real quick. He's a blue hedgehog that moves really fast. He became Sega's mascot in the 90s thanks to his games on Sega Genesis, and his popularity even rivaled Mario and Nintendo. His games have had hits and misses over the last couple decades, but he's still an iconic character. Since Detective Pikachu did really well last year, this was the perfect time to really flesh out Sonic's movie, but when that first trailer dropped and he just looked so horrifying, I was just glad that Paramount took the criticism and decided to push back the movie and restored him to his awesome glory. I know everyone has a personal choice when it comes to a specific voice actor for a specific character, and though I was so used to Ryan Drummond and Jason Griffith's voices as Sonic in past video games, I appreciated Ben Schwartz's take on it. Though it's a little different, he didn't deviate it much from the video game, so it wasn't distracting, and what I really liked about the voice is that he brought out Sonic's childlike demeanor, but kept a sense of humor, which is very fitting for the age he's in the movie. And once again, yes, he did look great, and I'll be honest, if they stuck to his original design, I don't think I would have enjoyed this movie as much. I thought James Marsden did a pretty good job as Sonic's human sidekick, aka the Donut Lord, and he really did well as just playing a true blue American good guy. And you know what, he did have a couple really good lines there. But of course, the other big draw to this movie besides the Blue Hedgehog was Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik. If you're a huge fan of Jim Carrey's antics back in any of his 90s comedies, then you are in for a treat because he brings it back in full force right from his very first lines. I initially thought he was a weird choice because he didn't look the part, but his mannerisms definitely matched the madness or genius of the Doctor, and you can even really see it in his own laboratory dancing scene. He has great interactions with James Marsden and his assistant Agent Stone, who actually had some good lines in there too. But if you don't like this kind of shtick, then you'll probably find him annoying. But to me, this is prime Jim Carrey. One of the more risky things that Hollywood does is try to fit a story into a game that doesn't have any. And since Sonic is just a video game about running around, collecting rings, and fighting Dr. Robotnik, clearly this is one of those cases. But, for the most part, it worked. Sonic wants to have friends because he's alone, but he can't risk exposing his powers to the world, so he has to hide. Yeah, it's pretty simple, but since this is clearly aimed at kids and their families, it's a good idea to make him relatable. You get a wacky road trip plot with some hilarious scenes, even one being about a specific product placement, but it still manages to be heartfelt. Towards the end, the movie definitely reminds you of Sonic's status as a video game character, as you see him running away from Robotnik all throughout San Francisco, using his spinning dash rolls, and his lightspeed homing attacks on the drones. But there are a couple of things thrown in there that are clearly influenced from other movies, like Sonic's bag of rings functioning like Doctor Strange's portals, and once again, a slow-mo scene reminiscent of Quicksilver from the X-Men movies. I didn't mind the ring portals, but these time stop sequences are getting cliche. You know what? This could be another superhero movie in disguise because if I am to believe what's happening in the mid credits and the post credits, it's really got me hyped for the next one. I think overall the movie did a good job. I'll have to say it's the most entertaining movie of 2020 so far. The visuals could have used some work, but I'm really glad that Paramount fixed Sonic's design. Sure, it may have cost them an extra $5 million and pushing back the release date, but with Sonic being number one at the box office for 2 weekends, I think Paramount won this gamble. The story is simple and cliche, but the performances of Ben Schwartz, James Marsden, and Jim Carrey is what won me over. So I'll give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. If you're a Sonic fan, definitely go check it out. Even if you're not, I think this is a fun movie that everyone can enjoy. At the minimum, you can at least see how adorable baby Sonic is. And if this is kind of like a superhero movie, I really hope that they're building toward a Super Smash Bros. Cinematic universe. Only time will tell. Alright guys, so there's my movie review of Sonic the Hedgehog. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comment section down below. And go ahead and give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I really don't care. But if you want to see more movie reviews from this guy, go ahead and click the subscribe button or watch one of my other reviews right up here. Other than that, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!